wants to own properties at Banana Island where they sell land for 200 million plus. And so they have to dip their hands in different things. And that's why projects here cannot be the same as projects in places where leadership and control are not dealership.
Alaguma, if you look at the revenue accrued to the nation now, according to Kojo 83.2% of our revenue was used to service debt in 2011. But today, we are using 96.3% to service our debt.
So we are left with 3 points. 96.
4.7 now.
Yeah, okay.
4.7. And obviously, we cannot execute any infrastructure with this.
So it means whatever infrastructure you want to execute, you must go and borrow.
We can't invest in it. I borrow from where again?
No.
That's happening. That's what he's saying. That's what we have to borrow. You have to borrow.
And you have to borrow.
That one is debt service, you know.
Debt service.
So you borrow again. Some people say we can't borrow again.
And why people giving us?
No, okay, like China. They said China closed out Nigeria enough. We are not borrowing. So they still look for Cuba. They will be looking for somewhere. Just
the borrower, if he is godly,
maybe they should consult some Nigerians, some individuals.
If the borrower is godly, he can tell you. No, President
Muhammadu Buhari once said that there are some individuals that are richer than.
What you're talking about, some individuals, they are richer, but they know where that money comes from. So they won't be able to throw that money back to where they took it. They will not be ready to do that.
There is almost, I don't have the facts, but there is virtually maybe 80-85% of all rich men in Nigeria had their money from government.
Yeah,
that's it.
Name it. I mean, I don't care. The Dangotes, the Abiolas of this world in those days, all of them, the rich ones.
The Dantatas.
Yeah, the Dantatas. They had it from
government.
From government. Only very, very few. Perhaps I will raise the ante to 90%. 10% are the hard-working people who struggled, hustled, and we've got intervention. They got to where they are. The leadership has overeaten the cake, and so sometimes I feel very, very bad for the younger ones. I was talking to some. They have no. One of them said. He spoke in Yoruba and said, he was using the Yoruba proverb. They have no future. But these are people who went through free education, free scholarship, etc., etc. They have wasted this country. And they continue to waste. That is why the younger generation must take the bull by the horns. It's not being unduly antagonistic and what have you, I'm not talking about violence, but realize that the future of this country.
They constitute the obedience now.
Well, to some extent, some of them too have not done well in terms of. I don't want to bring the obedience.
Okay.
You can do better than what you have. You don't keep on insulting people and insulting people.
Why should Okonjo-Iweala be advising the incoming governors to pay their workers? She must have realized that most of them don't pay workers.
Yes. Of course, she was there. She was on the scene, and she knew what was happening then. At that time, they have started borrowing to pay. She said it at that time. They started borrowing to pay workers at that time. So she knew what was going on. If you have enough money on your hands and you are not utilizing that money judiciously, and you now want to go and borrow to do something, then he doesn't go. He doesn't just tally up. You have enough money to pay your workers, to do certain things, to do a lot of things, and you're not using that money to do what you have to do. Then just keep that money to yourself, and then you start saying that you want to go and borrow to pay workers. I mean, it's crazy.
Larry, will the incoming governors take to this advice?
No, you see, that was why I said at this stage we should make it a duty of everyone to start telling them it can't be business as usual. Because, you see, to me, I think the Buhari administration deliberately wanted to borrow Nigeria into extinction. No, that's the way I look at it. Because it looks strange. And you kept borrowing. You see infrastructure, you kept borrowing. And you are not producing. You see, if you borrow for production purposes, then you can talk about export. You can talk about boosting your foreign exchange. Your economic policy should be centered around fiscal and monetary policies that are good, trade and exchange, and then labor and your workers. While Okonjo-Iweala is talking about that, what turns every economy around is money that lines the purse of people, not the vaults of the bank. The purse of people. You have money, you buy rice from the woman selling rice, she will buy your own money that you used to buy rice to buy pepper from the one. So that's what circulates. And it circulates on a daily. So if you're paying somebody 3,000 and you're now owing him on a daily basis, what does that person eat that day? That's the kind of money that moves. And if that is not happening, it steals the economy and it can't move. So when she talked about that, it's because workers, pensioners, people on the street. Now, let me tell you a secret. This will happen practical. The day the Aregbesola administration paid, I think, was it 2 months of the arrears then? Four.
3 months or so.
Half or so that time. One so. I was at Ajegunle. And one man there said, I was there because I collected it. I wanted to do something on my car that has been there undone. So the man that sold to me said he's been looking for a mechanic to fix his car. He couldn't get any. He now called and I called my mechanic for him. And that one said, almost 2 minutes after, I said, the boy himself is busy, let him not come again. Because that little money that people collected is only radiator that they want to block. Somebody abandoned his car for 6 months. He couldn't touch it again. So that turns things around.
See this incoming governors taking to this.
Oh, they have to take. They have to take the advice, because it is just like what we say in Yoruba, afefetife. Yes, the average Nigerian. You see, Okonjo was there. Today she is the head of
the hair had blown.
Yes,
and we have seen
the nakedness. Don't translate for me. We are in the newsroom, but don't translate for me. So they will, and then with all the NSAS and what have taken place over the last two and a half years, these new governors, they have no choice but to sit up, because if they don't sit up, they will be consumed. So will the incoming president. The leadership of Nigeria, the way they have boxed themselves into a corner today. If they don't listen to Okonjo-Iweala's advice and the advice of every young person, that's why I like it the way Tinubu said it. Young men, I have heard you loud and clear. I'm holding on to that. I want to see what he will do for the young people.
Now, pay workers, let me just add this.
No, we'll talk about that. We still have something like that in the second topic. And I'm happy with the parting statement of the Alabo man on this issue, that if they don't change, they will be consumed. That was also the position of President Muhammadu Buhari in the message sent to the workshop for the incoming governors. So we move to the next topic now, still related, because we are being told that 18 outgoing state governors leaving a debt of 3.06 trillion naira will retire into luxury with generous pension benefits. So you can see that we are still talking.
That is alarming. Alarming in the sense that the way we are going, there is no way workers can be assuaged if that kind of thing continues to happen. Because all they are going to get as their pensions and whatever are going to go through the workers. The workers are going to prepare all these things. And whereas the workers are suffering, they are not receiving their own salary.
They see
everything. And so, and you cannot, if the government says you go and prepare something, you cannot say you are not going to prepare it. You are about to prepare, but you have that thing at the back of your mind that, look at this, what this man is taking, and yet I'm not being paid my salary. But let me just point out something here, that even payment of salaries is not an achievement for any government or for any governor. It's just part of what you have to do, normal thing. Okay? So if you are now coming back to say that during your own tenure, I paid workers' salaries. So you are not achieved.
It's like a father providing meal
for his children and saying that you have done something.
Yes, I have provided tea and bread.
No. You don't do that, and that's why the way things are going on. The workers, up to this moment, the workforce, the labor force, are something assuaged. Every time we keep talking about salary increase, but I want to believe that if the salary increase,
resident doctors
they are on their own now. Tomorrow now, they say yes. But I must say something that paying worker salaries and upping worker salaries will not solve the problem we have on hand now. Every government should be ready to develop a state. Develop a state infrastructurally, economically, so that everybody within the polity will have something to hold on to within your government, not only workers. Because when you depend on workers, you say, okay, once you pay workers, the state is okay, you are in trouble. Because all other people who are within the system want to take from the workers, and they want to up their own take too. So it increases inflation. But when you make your economy sound and you have infrastructural facilities, everybody will take out of that, and workers' agitation will be less. But the way things are going now, if you're going to retire, you're taking that kind of humongous amount of money. I think the House of Assembly, the state House of Assembly should look into this.
Are they exonerated? Larry, you are retiring as a governor, and you are to be collecting almost what you are collecting as a governor. And every 2 years, you are entitled to about 4 new cars, a mansion in a state or place of your choice within Nigeria, maybe every 5 years. And this same set of people are aware of what some people that have put in so many years. Don't let us talk about civil servants. Let's look at our Nigerian army, soldiers too, those who have laid their life for. We have some of them still facing Boko Haram in the northeast now. And this set of people, they retire and they are peanuts. It's not paid. And do they have conscience at all?
Like conscience is something that becomes subjective when it comes to those bearing it. And unfortunately, a lot of things have not worked to advantage for the nation. I recall in those days, as young boys, you listened to the songs of Ike Dairo, Opolopo, Director Lowa, Theolophis. When you are listening to this, you know that the Yoruba culture especially does not honor indignified people. It reduces them. Theolophis, Theonibishe, Tobadi won Washatari Pondon, Madujibiti Dolowo. Who wants to be called a rogue? But it doesn't matter anymore. It's now my Mercedes is bigger than yours. Yeah, I mean, if I can steal better, if I'm not caught, I'm cool. In the past, it wasn't like that. Now, look at it, like Molet said, the NSAS thing was supposed to teach our politicians a lot of things. Do you know that as far as Jigawa, those people who went to where they hid fruits, it was not just in some states, all over Nigeria. It was not that these people, they didn't pre-plan it. And within 48 hours, the whole thing, everywhere. In some places up north, they were actually going over the silos to break it and go inside.
In Adamawa.
So why should people be that greedy? That greed is what has caused all of these problems that we are having. Greed. That is what is causing all these problems.
They have conscience.
It's situated within them, but they lock it up.
The conscience is scared.
But conscience is overwhelmed by greed.
It's greed that has taken over, and what we are now saying is, look, you will be too overwhelmed that this thing will consume you. It is not easy again. To some people, well, as I said, we should not talk about, but I'm saying, when you see one person, I have said it before, in Nigeria we have had governors. Is there any governor that will come publicly and say, I don't collect this, I've never taken it, I will not take it again? Have you had one?
That's difficult to say.
Well, people have not controverted where people have said he never took it.
They see it as their...
You don't get what I'm saying. I said we had one governor that came public and said, I have never taken even pure water from where I governed for 8 years. If we have another one, let's put him beside Peter Obi and say, okay, let's get more people. Let's get more people.
This man says it, former Minister of Transport.
Governor.
No, he was when he said when he was a governor
of
he
State.
when he
Who is that?
wrote to me, he said, I don't believe it's two of them. Wrote Amechi, who was a governor.
No. I mean, you can say that.
No. He has said it before that he has.
No, he did not say it again.
He might not because of the relationship between him and the person who took over from him.
He said
it before that he has never taken bribe before.
Okay.
No, bribe. He was talking about bribe, but he's not saying he does not collect his entitlements as a guy governor. They will have collected the house in Abuja. All the silvers are not. They are taking it. He said he did not take bribe. That was what he said.
Bribe is different.
No, it's different district. But it's there are some of those benefits that they give themselves wrong.
We know. Some of them are not say it, but we know that some. All right, I want to quote Akonde as an example.
Bisi Akande.
Yes, because I sat down there and I know his integrity.
No, it's a peculiar person.
In terms of integrity, but what I'm saying is, whatever the determined benefits were in the days of Bisi Akande, did he collect?
I'm not sure.
He may not change.
At that time, it wasn't. It was normal.
I'm not sure there is a law that provides for that in Osun State.
No, you don't get. Let me explain. There is a law that says what they will collect, but at some point, people now went.
No, some states out of assembly. They enacted their own law.
No, it was in existence before. There were some laws in existence, but those laws of 2 houses, one in Abuja, one in another place, was later they started putting that.
Every state,
and saying three cars,
every state,
SUVs, every
state made that law, and it is anchored on selfishness.
Simplicity.
Also made a similar law.
Yes.
Whether it has been implemented to date, I cannot say, but every state came out with ideas like that,
including Anambra. Anambra had the law.
Yes. But I cannot say whether Obi collected it or not.
No, I have said one thing that if they were to contribute, of course, the person behind after him came and spent 8 years, he did not say no, he's lying. Because he was supposed to have said that. They were not on the same page politically. But he did not. Okay. Another person
they were on the same page politically.
I was saying
what do you call it? Trailer.
That was enough time to even. Well, I'm not saying there is, but what I'm saying is we need more of such people.
No, I think those people can.
I've said it in this studio before. I worked in the local government system. I retired from that system. I know of one engineer, if it remains 10,000 naira on a project, won't give it, but he returns it to treasury. And you know he has not taken a couple on that project for himself. So I mean, that's a spiritual.
That's a human being.
Yes. So we should populate our midst with such people and promote them. Let's promote those good ones. I mean, that's a unique one.
The second leg of this issue, and a woman talk about debt the other time. Domestic debt of Delta State is the highest. 304 billion naira. Akwa Ibom 219 billion naira.
These are oil
states. There was a time the governor here to talk about Osun debt too. I think that was 200 and something. I can't recollect that.
No, 400.
Okay. Now we also have external debtors too.
Yes.
Kaduna is the leader there, ringleader, with $573.74 million. Followed by Cross River, $209.53 million. Enugu, $120.86 million.
Foreign.
Yes, we have domestic debt.
These are in hard currency.
And in spite of this debt that they are living, they are also going home.
This is where we must. There must be a protest. Every state must protest against when such laws exist. Look, they came to work for only 4 years. You could go for a second term, but it
maximum 8 years.
Yes, but it is for 4 years. Your tenure is for 4 years. If you are lucky, you come back, it becomes 8. But those who spent only 4 years are also going with the same thing. That is why I am suggesting that every state.
And remember that most of them, except now that things didn't work the way it used to, will also retire into the Senate.
Yes.
After collecting all these pensions,
so
ministerial position.
ministerial position.
Although Fashola once told us that since he became minister, he never he never took the pension that
Lagos.
Lagos. But you see, these are, whether it is true or not, it's left to be. These things are even wrong. Foundationally, it's wrong. Who did it? It is the same politicians who were their yes boys in the assembly, in the state houses of assembly, who did this. Because they also had a feeling that someday they could become deputy governor or governor themselves. So it is decisions that were based on selfishness, promoting the self. And that's why I think every state must protest. And then the state will now come to terms with the reality and say, this is how much we can offer. Yes, you served us for 4 years in leadership. We agree. Thank you for managing the economy. But because you gave yourself up, we can afford this. Not millions of naira, not building mansions.
The outgoing governors that will benefit from this largesse, despite this urge debt that they are leaving behind and unpaid salaries, are those of Enugu, Benue, Taraba, Niger, Kebbi, Kaduna, Plateau, Katsina, and of course Tambuwa, Sokoto.
Now, are we saying those are the only ones? That is, we are talking about those people who are just coming and going out now.
Those who are not those that have served 2 terms.
2 terms, yes.
Or those that served just 1 term, but was not lucky to, not lucky to come back.
Like
so those are the people.
You see, these people we are talking about. I was waiting for you to mention Delta. You know why I'm saying this? I keep on mentioning Delta.
I mentioned Delta with the domestic.
Yes,
the highest.
The highest. If you look at Delta, I said Delta has the highest when we talk about derivation. And yes, we have the highest.
Is it derivation alone?
No, I'm talking about derivation. No, wait. I'm not talking about derivation alone. Derivation is a bit higher than the special
13%.
Yes, 13%. If you have them having the highest, and yet they have the highest, don't see them. Just suppose the two.
But at times it is how big the head is that will determine
the head. Then you now look at the head. The head you're talking about now. How developed is the head? How developed is the head?
Maybe those states have special challenges.
Oh my God!
Like you look at Lagos now.
He's talking as a host of the program,
if you look at Lagos now,
yes,
the amount Lagos is spending on daily basis, to clear refuse.
Yes.
I'm sure. Osun cannot spend 5%.
I'm sure Delta is not spending. Delta is spending less than.
No, they may have similar challenges.
Yeah, the similar challenges. Look at development Lagos. Look at development Delta. I know what I'm talking about.
Delta,
I was astonished when I went to Delta. You see, these are the things that boggles my mind. These governors are going to enjoy this thing and have domestic debt on their necks. I think the best thing is for if the states can do it, but the assemblies are not going to do it. Yes, stop all this.
Stop it.
The
people
stop
know. It's not the assembly. We, the citizens, must protest.
The executive, the governors, the presidents appoint Senate president and speaker. So how will they stop it?
You see, the Senate speakers, the speaker himself cannot do it alone. He has to have some people in concert for him to be able to do anything at all. Let us who had him, who have.
They are all the yes men.
They are appointees of the governor.
Because they are also thinking someday they will come and
just hold their hands and let them go with it.
That is why I said the people themselves must.
Not insurrection. We have to do it legally.
We are not going to go. It's not for violence.
Yes, legally.
Daily protesting, but this thing is not right.
Some human rights players should go to court over this.
We'll come back and talk about this issue.
Some human rights players should go to court over this.
The one who usually go to court, Sarah.
Yes.
I'm not sure if Sarah has not gone to court on this offense. Larry, we move to the last topic now because of our time.
For us, and that's why we are poor.
The United States has announced imposition of visa restrictions on some Nigerians who, one way or the other, undermined the democratic process during this last election. But the Secretary of State who said this did not mention any name. Do you see anything in this?
Well, the full import of the whole message is that the American nation state has a position on the last election of Nigeria. You see, we live in the modern times and it's a global village. And unfortunately, you know, there was a thing that came out recently that it was like a negative because the wind blew on the secret that America was monitoring some of his friends. Do you understand? That was what blew up. That, oh, you were looking at things behind the screen that your friends were doing, and that it doesn't look neat. You know, you are watching your friend when he's taking his bath naked. But the fact still remains that there are things that are not open to us by technology that they know about that election. They don't have to come and tell us because we didn't give them a contract to do so. So, in terms of knowing what happened, so those are the people they know who they don't want.
So they are doing the job of policing the world.
Yes, that's one of the basic things they do. And they say we are policing the world because of our own security. So if you are here planning something against America, they'll just block you before you get there. Do you remember that when Mamu was living in Nigeria, he was going on lesser hajj or so? It was Egypt that returned him to Nigeria. That look, this person is going for a different meeting and not what he told you he was going for. With himself, his wife and children, they returned them to Nigeria. Now the government of Nigeria has said they don't have a case against him again after finding all those money, and was the person negotiating. You see, all of these things, they are seeing it, but international politics does not allow them to come and say, look, we saw you.
Okay, Alama, I know you are once a student of international relations. What is the implication of this? Does it mean anything?
No, it means a lot. It means a lot. Don't take it for granted. You see, it is a gradual process. They know it. They know them. You may not know them, but they know them. By the time they begin to do the implementation, that's when you come to realize that they mean business. America will not just say what it has said for nothing, because they are aware of those who tried to thwart our democracy via the elections. They won't tell you. They have every dossier on them. Let us wait and see. In the next 6 months, 9 months, some of them may want to travel. That's why you will realize that they won't allow them to come. So but they cannot interfere.
Was they travel?
Oh, no. Yes. If you look at it from that point of view.
You and I may not travel for 10 years.
No, you see, you see, many of them are now members of the assembly. Many of them whom they have found out to have attempted, maybe appointed ministers. When you want to come to America, they tell you cannot come. That is when you begin to see the fruits. They have said it is good that they have not mentioned any name
of their labor.
Yes, but when they tell you, oh, this man minister is coming, he cannot come because he's on U.S. watch list, then you will know. And somebody I know for sure, even if the court sets him free, is that Dogwa man.
They can't know.
Yes, somebody like that, America will never allow him to come to the land during his term.
Now, I learned the ban will also be visited on their members of their immediate family. And at times, when you are denied American visa, some allied states or countries will also take similar position. It is very likely that the UK too may deny this set of people, and some Western countries as that.
You see, as far as I'm concerned, deny them visa does not mean much to me. It means much to me in terms of if they're going to serve in government, and the government delegation is going somewhere, and you have 3, 5 people held back, so they cannot go. That's when it makes an impact. But as individuals, it doesn't really make much impact. But it makes an impact in the sense that some of them have investments in America. They have bought houses in America. They have some other things in America. They are
going to Dubai now.
Now, they are going to Dubai now. But what they have in America cannot be brought to Dubai right now because of this problem. And America, I know America will deny them bringing such things into Dubai. They will find a way to stop them from doing that because they know they cannot enter America. Sometimes ago, somebody was said to have caused such wrath that he cannot enter America. Close the back door, you entered America. And I don't know what's going to happen now. But I mean, whoever has done what he should not do by trying to thwart our democracy here, we will not know their names right now until when they attempt to.
And it's a long time, immediately after the election.
Not even 9 months now, not even, it will go on for a very long period before the next election. They start knowing them one by one. That's why you start counting. You know? And there are so many of them. The Americans do that. There are some individuals too who may not be in government, who want to go to America and they will be denied visa. And that's where the thing starts. But you and I, the ordinary people on the streets, who cares about America or who cares about Britain? No, people on the street don't care about America. That's why I say that visa ban should be done. I mean, it should be more than visa ban. When it affects government, really, that's what should be done. When it affects government, and you know that these people are in government and they are denied being entry to America, that's where it can hit us. Then you can know the impact. But as individuals, they just sit back and say, okay, I cannot go to America. What do I do?
Yeah, but the man, I mean, as an individual, that's all America can do for an individual. He cannot.
But individuals within government. That's what I'm saying.
Whatever it is, they have not mentioned names, so.
No, they have not mentioned names. Some of the individuals will be within government.
Oh yes, they will.
And when they are denied,
let's wait. By the time ministers are appointed and other parastatals have, that's when you will see.
Assembly,
that's how you will see.
Senate,
that's when you will begin to see the impact on Nigeria.
This threat of visa ban has become a rhetoric. They only say this every 4 years.
Well,
so it is meaningless.
They just make believe that it is meaningless. Would it not surprise you that it took a judgment against the Koremat for the judge to tell him, we know that you collect rent of £400,000 every 6 months.
6 months.
So you see, they have information about them. And they know part of those things, you cannot access your properties if you have a ban on your person. All those things you think are your investments in those places. And you said there's an extension to that ban now, that even their relations. So if you think you will have your children here and you subverted electoral process in your own country, that child knows his days there are probably numbered. So these are some of the things they use to show that, look, we want to be civil about our activities and we are serious about democracy, because they believe it is democracy that can run any system. It doesn't matter. You can say, oh, I recall the days of what's this man that is very, very garrulous and looking rough in the Asian, but the people voted for him. So they said, look, even if he has issues with his temperament or whatever, I mean, so long as he was elected in an election that was free and fair, whatever his manner, that was the man that said all those cocaine people that had limousines, he lined them up and crushed all those vehicles.
Oh yeah.
You understand? So, but they said his temperament, look, we don't care. He was elected. If the next election comes and he doesn't want to go, we become enemies with him. They said, why are you tolerating such a person? And he's fighting drug barons. So America does not want that too.
Recently, some judges or justices were denied visa when they were to go for seminars in US as a result of these anti-democratic actions. So it means that
it could affect anybody.
The target is not just the politicians.
It could affect anybody.
Whoever survives.
Whoever survives. You see,
including a journalist.
Oh yes,
of course, anybody.
Oh, yes.
They have a dossier on people.
They have their dossier. And so you see, sometimes you watch some. They deny me visa. You think you have all gone through all the process. Finally, they deny you. There is a reason for it that they won't tell you. So you will begin to see it in the very near future when close friends of yours who subverted or attempted to subvert, he wants to go to US, they don't allow him, and he'll come and tell you a different story. A minister who wants to go and they deny him. It's only a president who, when he's elected, they don't have, for instance, if the president, they don't like the face of your president and he has to be at the United Nations, America cannot stop him from going. Only that they won't give him the necessary, but to land in New York and address the country, he has to do, he will come back. But you and I cannot do that. A minister ordinarily cannot do that.
You wanted to say something?
See, I want to say that as of now, what I said the other time still holds, that you and I, anybody who's a common man, wants to travel to America and is denied visa, and because of anti-democratic activities, God of us won't get to know about those people. It's only when they are in government and they want to travel on behalf of government and they are denied, that's when the grants will carry it. That this person has been denied entry
Yeah, but America
And
can
that's
tell you an individual.
no,
pay you.
America will not, because that individual will not go out shouting that I was denied
Yes.
a visa. So you just keep quiet. I was denied visa. Just keep quiet. Nobody will know. But when it's a government official,
Yeah.
that's when you get to know properly that something is happening. That's why I believe those who are in the Senate, in the National Assembly, in the state assemblies,
Chairman
of local governments and things like that,
corporations.
yeah, corporations and things like that. These are the people, when they are denied visa, that's when it will impact Nigeria.
Lani, parting shots.
Parting shot is that our leaders should be leaders and share themselves of the idea that it should be business as usual. Times have to change.
And the US is saying it will continue to support and strengthen our democracy. As US be doing that?
Well, you can't. They should. They must have been doing it. They signed. I mean, they have been. I would say they have been doing it. They have been because they are always monitoring our elections. They send in delegates. They bring trainees or trainers to train you, journalists and us. They do a lot. They are supporting it. They may not be perfect, but we can't deny the fact that they are always. They have a National Democratic Institute here.
You see, they are not permanent friends. They are not permanent friends. The permanent interest. That's America for you. No matter what, whatever America is doing in Nigeria today is because of its own interest. That's it.
So that's how far time will permit us to go on today's edition of this program in the newsroom. Let me appreciate our guests. They are not just my guests, they are our guests. Smollett, Adedoyishi, Omo Pedino. I put that now. Aboduni.
How I thank God I didn't wear my bowler hat because I was almost wearing it today. We would have become.
I just decided to look different today.
Good.
I was almost. I wore it and left it.
So yeah.
We thank God for being here today once again, and I hope to be here next time.
And the youngest of the old.
And I'm happy to. I'm wearing my Mao uniform. The Chinese uniform.
In the newsroom, we'll be back tomorrow. My name is Abiodun Lalere. We'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.